We begin with that violence getting worse on the north side.
Yeah, the third night in a row of shootings in the Albany Pike Ravenswood Manor area.
Erica, tonight there was another shooting about a half-mile from where we are tonight, just a couple hours ago. And the residents here, they are
police are trying to identify 3 subjects wanted in connection to a double that happened this past May in the Albany Park neighborhood. Police released surveillance video from the crime scene in the 4700 block of North Troy.
Investigation on Chicago's northwest side after a man was stabbed to death in Albany Park overnight.
Police responded to a call for service just before 8 p.m. in the 3500 block of West Sunnyside. The man was found outside with multiple stab wounds to his body. Police said the victim was fighting with another man. That man then took off on foot.
This was in the 4800 block of North Bernard Street, and a 38-year-old man died in this incident. Now, Chicago police say that man was shot in the leg. He was transported to Mount Sinai Hospital in critical condition.
In the shadow of Chicago's towering skyline, far from the polished downtown streets, an entirely different world has shaped the city's history. One built on loyalty, survival, and often bloodshed. Among the many gangs that have left their mark on Chicago's streets, the Spanish Gangster Disciples stand out as one of the most fiercely independent and battle-hardened Latino organizations to emerge from the city's south side. Born out of the ashes of older neighborhood gangs in the late 1970s, the Spanish Gangster Disciples quickly evolved into a militant street force rooted in ideology, prison connections, and survival under pressure. With deep ties to the Folks Nation and an origin story linked to prison alliances and community collapse, the Spanish Gangster Disciples expanded from 87th and Houston across the north side and into the suburbs. Along the way, they earned a reputation for uncompromising violence, internal power struggles, and an ability to adapt as law enforcement and gentrification threatened their strongholds. From bloody wars with Latin kings to territorial expansion into neighborhoods like Albany Park, Rogers Park, and Uptown, the Spanish Gangster Disciples' journey is both a story of ambition and chaos, and a mirror reflecting the pressures of urban life in gang-torn Chicago. In the late 1970s, South Chicago's gang landscape began to shift. Older street gangs like the Royal Knights and the Saints of 87th began fading from prominence. The Royal Knights controlled 88th and 89th near Commercial Avenue, while the Saints held down 87th and Houston. By this time, both groups had become allies. Many Royal Knights had been incarcerated during the 1970s and joined the Maniac Latin Disciples while in prison, aligning with the emerging Folks Alliance. Key figures returned from prison in 1979, but chose not to revive the Royal Knights name. Instead, they aligned with the newly formed Folks Alliance. By 1980, under the guidance from the Milwaukee Kings and the Maniac Latin Disciples, a new ideology called Spanish Growth and Development was created. Rudy Rios was given permission by the Kings to bring the Spanish Growth and Development ideology to the streets of South Chicago. When he returned home in 1981, he brought this concept to 87th and Houston, a former Saint stronghold. Initially, the group was named the Saint Disciples to honor the old Saints' legacy, though they had no connection to the Saints of 45th Street. Within a year, the name evolved to Saint Spanish Gangster Disciples, but by 1983, the group officially became the Spanish Gangster Disciples. Their growth coincided with rising conflicts against the People Nation gangs, such as the Latin Kings, Latin Counts, and others who dominated the southeast side. The Spanish Gangster Disciples had to fight aggressively to survive, resulting in numerous shootouts, incarcerations, and an entrenched reputation for violence. In 1983, Spanish Gangster Disciples expanded to Chicago's north side, starting at Rosemont and Broadway in Edgewater. This expansion was sanctioned by Gangster Disciple leader Larry Hoover. From there, the Spanish Gangster Disciples spread to Albany Park, Uptown, and Rogers Park, establishing sets at major intersections like St. Louis and Ainsley, Columbia and Glenwood, and Sunnyside and Kimball. Latin kings became their main rivals on the north side. The Spanish Gangster Disciples continued expanding into the suburbs throughout the 1980s. Later sets appeared in Highwood, Prospect Heights, Piper Lane, Wheeling, South Holland, and even Indiana cities like Whiting and East Chicago. The organization suffered major losses in the early 1990s with the founder Rudy Rios and his successor Rudy Guzman. In 1993, the Chicago police launched Operation Houston in response to escalating violence at 88th and Houston. A major bust on March 30th led to the arrest of several leaders. These arrests crippled South Side operations. Over time, the Spanish Gangster Disciples lost major territory due to law enforcement pressure, gentrification, and fractured leadership, while 88th and Houston fell and was eventually taken over by Ambrose with Spanish Gangster Disciples' blessing. Some North Side sets like Broadway and Kyler persisted. Though diminished, the Spanish Gangster Disciples still maintain a presence in South Chicago, especially near 87th and Houston, though modern members are more discreet to avoid law enforcement crackdowns. Despite its setbacks, the Spanish Gangster Disciples remain part of Chicago's gang history, a group born from the ashes of older street organizations, shaped by prison alliances, and hardened through decades of survival on hostile ground.
Okay, right now, there's this whole controversy of me being a snitch, right? Okay, there's still a lot of members that fuck with me. There's a lot that don't,
right?
But there's a lot of members that fuck with me. If I went and sucked the dick and it was on a video right now, he ain't gonna fuck with me.
Even as a biological one?
No. They're gonna be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, they're definitely not gonna respect me on some street shit.
So are the Spanish GDs related to the regular GDs? Like, is there anything?
Yeah, but nowadays, everybody's GDK. Like, everybody, like.
But it's not even like the GDs stick together, right?
No.
So everybody's GDK, and then the GDs are not united.
Okay, where we're SGDs from, we used to click up with Sunnyside, which is where Pappy's from. We used to be with like PBG and all them. We used to be cool with them. Then all of a sudden, I came home from my last bid, and everybody was like, "Oh, we're GDK now." You with that GDK shit? You with that GDK shit? What's good? RP Doug, nigga. You know the I am. Sorry, I want her to pull up by your car.
That's cool.
You got a bag? This?
Oh, I need that bag back, though. I'm talking about after in a few days, I need it back.
Oh, yeah, you can have it back. I just don't want her to see,
All right, look at them.
Count that. You don't got no beans for these bitches, do you?
Yeah, they both got a few shells in there, and some hollows in the line, but look, folks, the deuce, I ain't gonna lie, G. Gonzo will give you the clips. You just
Buddah G is a drill rapper from Chicago known for her affiliation with the Spanish Gangster Disciples. Her music reflects her experiences and the gritty realities of street life. In interviews, Buddah G has discussed her early involvement in gang activities and the challenges she faced growing up in Chicago. She has also addressed her decision to cooperate with law enforcement, a choice that led to controversy within her community. Despite the controversies, Buddah G continues to make music, sharing her story and perspectives through her art. Her work offers insight into the complexities of life in Chicago's neighborhoods and the personal struggles of those involved in gang culture.
Look how we march through these bitch ass niggas.
We out here. You know what's up with us, man? We out here. Yeah. Jack and Ansley shit. We out here. We out here.
A big old 50 for LB the man. LB killer, bitch. Rambo rock, bitch.
But a lot of blicks. You were on that block. I was 14 out here.
Gangsta City is a Spanish gangster disciple, affiliated set located at Glenwood in Columbia in Chicago's Rogers Park neighborhood. The crew maintains alliances with PBG and is known to be rivals Latin King factions in the surrounding area. JayGang is a northwest side set of the Spanish Gangster Disciples located in the Belmont-Cragen neighborhood. The set was established in the early 2000s by a group of youth, many of whom attended Steinmetz High School. Despite starting small, JayGang quickly built up numbers and made a name for themselves within the local gang landscape. Drake City was founded in 1993 by Spanish Gangster Disciples from the Broadway and Kyler set. This section was established in Albany Park with support from the original Gangster Disciples of St. Louis and Ainsley, who helped open the neighborhood to Spanish Gangster Disciples' influence. Since then, Drake City has remained one of the longest-standing and most prominent Spanish Gangster Disciples sets in the area. Silent City has roots going back to the 1980s when it was originally called Uptown Green. Situated in the Uptown neighborhood, Silent City has played a key role in Spanish Gangster Disciples' operations on the north side. The set has historically clashed with the Latin Eagles, one of their main rivals in the area. M-Block, or MB Street, is in Spanish Gangster Disciples' affiliated crew located at Montrose and Bernard on Chicago's north side. While not much is publicly known about their specific rivalries or alliances, this set holds down turf in a strategic area and maintains ties to other Albany Park-based Spanish Gangster Disciples factions. Known as No Love or Most Hated Gang, this Spanish Gangster Disciples set is based around Kimball and Cullum. The name reflects the set's reputation for ruthlessness and its desire to stand out even among other Spanish Gangster Disciples branches. No Love has gained a reputation as one of the more aggressive crews in the area. The Spanish Gangster Disciples are more than just a street gang. They are a case study in how ideology, street loyalty, and systemic failure can collide to shape generations. Despite heavy police crackdowns, internal betrayals, and the shifting politics of gang alliances, Spanish Gangster Disciples have managed to survive in one form or another for over 4 decades. From their violent birth in South Chicago to their complex web of sets like Drake City, JayGang, Gangsta City, and No Love, the Spanish Gangster Disciples continue to influence street culture, music, and the everyday reality of many neighborhoods across Chicago. While some sets have faded and leadership fractured, others have adapted, becoming quieter, more calculated, and more focused on self-preservation in a city that rarely forgives weakness. Whether reviled, feared, or respected, the Spanish Gangster Disciples remain a part of Chicago's underworld legacy, a gang forged in chaos, still standing in the face of relentless change.